Hey guys, Jill here from Ask a Vet Tech. Today I want to talk to you about how to integrate baby chicks that you say you either get from the farm store or you have a brooding mom that hatched out baby chicks, and how to integrate them into the flock that you already have so that your new babies are able to go into the coop with the adult chickens safely and not be bullied. Baby chicks start out in a brooder, and so they're pretty much segregated from everybody else. You also want them to be able to be with mom if they had a broody hen. So I start mine out in a little brooder, and then as they start to age and they get fully feathered, they don't have a bunch of the little baby fuzz anymore, I transition them into the chicken coop. And I do that by adding in a large or extra large dog kennel. I put their food in there, their water in there, and extra bedding. That way they can all integrate the smells, the sounds, all the things together. It's not just about integrating the baby chicks. You have to teach the already present hens and roosters that it's okay that these babies are in their coop. You want to do it safely though, so that nobody gets hurt. So the first thing that I did is I went in and I fluffed up all my litter, assembled this dog kennel, and this dog kennel actually has two openings. This one has a front and a side, and I prefer to use the side. So I set it down in there. I made it as level as I could, just kind of wiggling it down into the current litter that's there. Because you remember, I want the babies to be able to smell the other chickens as well. So we're integrating everything. I'm going to take some fresh litter, dump it in here, which is pine shavings. That's what I like to use. It's just good to have good, clean, dry litter for these babies and mom to be on. The next thing I did is allowed the hens to integrate and look at this temporary coop we're putting together for the babies. I put in there some food and some water, and I always elevate my water because baby chicks are messy. And then we had to kick out that extra chicken that just ran in there. We're going to go get mom now and bring her in first so that the chickens can see her first and she can just decide if this is good for her babies, which I'm sure she'll be fine with because the food and the water came right from where she was. Everyone's excited to see what is going to come in here, and they're all checking it out, even the roosters here. Everybody's just excited because they know something's different and they don't know what, but they're so excited. Here we are adding Buff in here, and she's going to go in there and just check everything out. I'm just going to latch her in there so that she's safe and nobody can get to her and she can't get to anybody else because she hasn't seen them in probably 3 weeks. So everybody here is just talking and making noise to her, and she's making noise back to them, and she wants to know where her babies are. So I went to get a few of her babies, and we're going to integrate them slowly because I don't want to carry a whole handful of chicks in. She's checking everything out, making sure everything's good in there. The first one, this is one that I hatched from an egg on our farm. Her name is Turkey. This one here is an Americana that I got from the farm store. Put it in with Mama. And this one here is a white one. I don't know what it is, but we're going to find out because I can't remember, and it's not a meat bird. And then I'm going to go back for the other two. And as you can see, all the chickens are walking around here, looking in, looking out, all the things to just learn each other. So mom's job is to protect them, make sure that they're okay from all of these other hens. Even though these are her buddies that she grew up with and she's lived with her whole life, she's been gone for 3 weeks. This is a good way to integrate even a chicken that has to come back from the hospital just because sometimes they pick on them. And if I were to just toss these babies in here with mom would be completely stressed out. Babies would be stressed out. The other chickens are going to peck the babies, and it's just a horrible situation. You want to make sure that there is some sort of barrier between mom and babies and the rest of the flock. So she is talking to them and showing them where food is, where water is. And here I come back with the other two chickens. This is the other Americana. And our last little chickie is a barred rock. She's showing the other two where the food is right now. They're all just running around. They're very interested in what's going on here. I'm just going to let you guys watch this for a little bit, and you can see the integration as the chickens are kind of talking to each other. There was a little spat between this sex-linked chicken and Mama. There was a little spat between the cage there. I had to break that up. And everybody's excited about the babies. If you don't cover the top of your cage, often the adult chickens will come and roost on there and poop all over the babies and the mom. I just used what I had. I had a board and I had another little piece of metal that came with this cage that is a divider. I let them just kind of integrate on their own. It was a nice day this day when I put them in here, and so they were able to have some sunshine, but I did end up closing the coop up, just the big man door, because the wind was pretty strong that day and I didn't want the babies to become chilled. This is them inside the coop with it shut. The rooster come, check them out, see what kind of new babies he's got to watch over and take care of. I let mom and the babies just do their thing in their little crate, and then I let the rest of the chickens just get acclimated to the thought that they have new babies that are going to be joining their flock. And everybody went to bed, and now I need to make sure that the hen can keep them warm at night, because if it's not warm enough, then the babies will get cold and chilled. Everybody's doing good. The babies are peeked out, which means that they're not freezing. They're not really cold. They come out when there was light. Good morning. A few days later, I come out and it's a beautiful sunny day. I opened it up. I let them have some air. I let them have some sunshine. I've already had lots of time to integrate. I made sure everybody was good, and then I opened the gate. She showed the chicks how to get out of the pen. Once everybody came out, she took off to go dust bathe. I sat out there in a lawn chair and monitored the situation to make sure that everybody was safe and that none of the big chickens were bullying the little chickens. And as you can see, they're having a really fun time just fluttering around and trying out those wings and getting used to their new space. And then they always return back to the little pen, which is their safety net. So I leave that in there for a few weeks just to make sure that they always have somewhere safe that they can get into. Once they feel comfortable, they will roost on their own, and then you no longer have to worry about having that little safe space for them. After mom took off for a little while, I was like, well, we better make it so that the big chickens can't get in here and that the babies can if they need space, because mom was off dust bathing. I propped open the door just enough so that babies could get in and out if they wanted to, but big chickens couldn't get in. After a little bit, mom came back and everybody went outside and was exploring nature at this point. This is the first time that they've been outside. And as you can see, the white one is still trying out the ramp, but everybody else has figured it out. At this age and stage, you still want these babies to be eating the chick crumbles because it's got the right amount of nutrients and things in it to keep them growing at a good rate. You don't want to switch them over to layer pellets yet because that's not the right nutrition that they need for their growing bones and all that stuff. At about 4 months is when I transitioned mine from the chick feed, the chick starter feed, to the layer feed. If you didn't have a mama chicken like I do, the best case scenario is to offer these babies a safe place to go where they are not going to be able to be reached by other chickens. One idea that you could do would be to get a laundry basket, one of these longer ones, cut a hole in it, put the feed inside there, and cut a hole just big enough for your chicks to fit through so that the big chickens don't come through there. Another option would be to take this dog crate that we have in here and put it up on some pavers so that it is about 4 to 5 inches off the ground. That's important because 4 to 5 inches, a baby chick could get underneath and back up into this cage, and other adult chickens and the rooster would not be able to. And what that does is it gives the chicks a little escape route so they can run into the coop, they can run to their crate, and they can get underneath of the crate and up inside of it for safety. This allows them a place to be safe and feel safe. For the first few days that you allow your chicks without a mother hen to integrate with the flock, you're going to want to let them out just like I did, but you're going to want to be right there just to offer a safety net if something were to go wrong. Usually after integration, giving them about 4 or 5 days in their little safe enclosure, exposing them to all the chickens around, they do just fine. Yeah, there may be pecking and all that, but they got to figure out where they're going to fit in the chicken hierarchy. And because they're babies, they're the bottom of the barrel, meaning that they will eat last, be picked on, they will be in a bad roost, probably the lowest kids on the totem pole, literally. But once they start to roost and become part of the flock, you can remove the crate. You don't really need to keep that. If you find that you have 1 chicken or 2 chickens that are being real big bullies to these babies, the best thing to do there is to take those 2 chickens and lock them up for a little while, because then it kind of resets the hierarchy. They need to take it down a notch. So they need to go into little chickie jail for a bit. And then once they're released from there, usually everything just kind of works itself out. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be chicken pecking, because there is. They're going to figure that out. They're going to peck each other. That's how they learn. Just like babies learn by putting things in their mouth, chickens learn by being pecked or pecking. That is just something you're going to have to deal with. But if it becomes excessive, you see blood, you see feathers lost, it's time to jump in there and take care of that. Here is a cute little snapshot of Mama and the babies out exploring a vehicle for the first time. They're all alert and they're watching out. And as you can see, Mama's standing very tall, making sure that everything is okay around them. If you're watching this video before you've ever got baby chicks, there is a video on my channel, and I'll link it right up here, that talks all about the things you need to get started having baby chicks. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, I'm here for you. You're here for your pets. Have a great day.